welcome back, everybody out there in listening land. Greetings and salutations to everybody out there. It's Andrew coming back at you one more time again inside the Tough Forum on our Wednesday broadcast, as we call it, the Wednesday Wagwan, the midweek catch up. It's been a while, so we're going to get right into it. Hope everybody's doing well out there and still staying vigilant. Yes, folks, good to be with you another time as we continue to talk about the happenings on the streets, on the out and outs, on the valleys and the byways. So many things been going on. It's been a busy weekend. I've been a busy camper myself. Kids are out of school and I'm sure they're doing a little camping themselves too. So shout out to all the parents out there who got to keep their kids busy. Thank God my kids are grown now. And the only kids I really have to worry about is probably my grandkids. Yes. But here we go again for the midweek catch up, the Wednesday Wagwan. It's been a busy weekend. Like I said, a whole bunch of things have been happening. We had just on the weekend alone, 3 separate shootings. We had one near the Scotiabank, just outside the Scotiabank Arena. Had 2 people got shot in a nightclub in a busy downtown area. And somewhere else happened, I think it was outside Union Station. Shooting happened there also. So we got a few things to talk about with that. Still busy with the shooting and the violence happening on the streets. But the rash of weekend gun violence that took place in 3 separate areas were all in public spaces. And that's the common ground right here that we're talking about. They all happen in common and public places. And that seems to be becoming more of a normalized trend. So that's concerning. That is very concerning. Mayor John Tory had to speak out on it earlier this week, and he said that the shooting incidents were extremely upsetting and unsettling. He added that he would be advocating for stronger penalties and tougher gun laws. So we'll just wait to see how that one pans out. You know, John Tory is doing the best job I guess he can do, doing a good job. I think he's got a tall task to deal with where that is concerned, especially with the limited powers that he has. But we'll see how that goes. John Tory, as I picked up the Sun paper and it's reading that he's quoted by saying, for years now, the mayor has called for bail reforms to ensure that repeat offenders aren't let loose on the street to reoffend after being busted on gun charges. In 2019, when we had our chief Mark Saunders was in office, he shocked many Torontonians when he stated that there were 326 people out on bail who had been arrested and charged with gun crimes. I'm told the numbers today are quite similar to that shocking stat of 3 years ago. So only 3 years ago we had that number revealed to us, and even now those numbers seem staggeringly the same or worse. What Tory doesn't he doesn't have a silver bullet, as the Sun is reporting. He doesn't have a silver bullet to the solution to the city's gun crime problem. Perhaps because it's bigger than him, bigger than the city, and needs help from governments up above. That would include the federal government, focusing on real solutions rather than the theater of gun freezes or bans that target law-abiding gun owners but do nothing to deal with the problems of shootings on Toronto streets. Bans and freezes generally generate headlines, though hard work and bail reform don't, which leaves Toronto alone facing a problem the city and John Tory can solve on their own. People, couple things here. For years now, as John Tory is saying, is that he's been addressing the issue of bail reform and repeat offenders. I guess the first thing I want to do is touch on that, because as I really heard one person who has experience in this field was talking about it, and it goes to show a little difference here. We might be on the outside not understanding why is it that it seems like we have a revolving door. Maybe to a degree we do have a revolving door, but there's some context to this, because, for example, I found out that when you might be driving in a vehicle with, say, 4 passengers or 3 passengers or whatever, and let's say you didn't know that there was a gun in the car. You had that friend or somebody that, whatever reason, there was a gun in the car. Once that person, or once that car is stopped and they found that there's a gun in the car, what is likely going to happen is that whatever occupants are in the car are going to be charged also. So the problem now is that when you see these people get out on bail, it's not necessarily that they were the perpetrator, so to speak, but somebody may have owned up to that gun or whatever, but there's 3 or 4 or 5 different charges for that same gun. So what happens is that really and truly some of these people should be getting bail because maybe they really didn't know, or they just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Regardless, you can't choose your friends, but you shouldn't be charged for something that's not yours, I would say. Now that's arguable for this conversation, but that just gives a little more context to why there's so many more bails with people that have that charge to their name, saying that this person has a gun offense. So not every person that necessarily is on bail is one that was the perpetrator. So unfortunately, that kind of skews the stats, but nonetheless, those stats are there. So we had those shootings that happened over the weekend where one man died outside the Scotiabank Arena. We had in the nightclub, 2 were shot. A man and a woman. The man died earlier on this week, of his injuries, and I think the woman is still fighting for her life. And there was the shooting outside Union Station, all busy areas, and the bullets have no name. We also had last week we were made aware of an assault, aggravated assault that happened to a 32-year-old gentleman. Well, that charge is now being updated and upgraded to manslaughter, as 2 26-year-old men have now been charged with manslaughter, upgraded from aggravated assault. And I don't know the full details of this, but nonetheless, here's another man that has now succumbed to his injuries and now is no longer with us. And that's at the hands of these 2 men here, 2 young men. So we're still having this plaguing problem that's happening where men are dying in the hands of men, women are dying in the hands of men, people are dying, men are dying, and men are dying at a higher rate. And we can see this daily. So I'm just reporting the news as we see it. Now, for the last couple episodes, we've been talking about mass shootings and stuff. And of course, I guess I couldn't do this episode tonight without even talking and tackling a little bit about mass shooting, because we don't really see that happening over here um, as often as it does in the United States. But just an interesting stat that I found out just last week, and I said, "Man, is this real?" I had to check this out, and this is actually real. That in the United States, over 300 mass shootings has happened this year alone. We're in our seventh month of the year of 2022, and the year is not even complete yet. And we have already had, we've seen over 300. I believe we're at 313. When I heard this report, it was actually 309, and now we're at 313. I believe as of today, that number stands at 313 mass shootings that has happened in America. The reason why I bring this up is because, yes, just because we've been talking about mass shootings, but I also want to know, does it seem like the gun culture that is over there to with our neighbors, is it seem like the gun culture is coming here? I mean, on our Toronto Sun yesterday's paper, it had the CN Tower, and then it has a picture of a gun just in behind it. So it's almost saying what is our representation? Is it the CN Tower or is it the gun? Because of how gun crimes and violence has been so prevalent in the GTA. Now, what is a mass shooting? You may ask. Like, a mass shooting, as I found out, consists of four or more people that have been shot or killed in a shooting incident, and it's not including the gunman or the shooter. So if you have a shooting which involves four or more people, that is considered a mass shooting. And if you hear those numbers, four, and we've had over 300 in the United States alone, not to mention what we see happening here almost every day, you can say one, two, three people are dying because of guns, knives, etc. So it just goes to show you how much people are dying per capita, how much people are dying, per week. I mean, I don't even know how to measure the death toll, but it's serious enough for me to be talking about it on a weekly basis, just to give you a little more in-depth look of certain things about mass shootings. When we want to compare ourselves and say, you know what, we're better, at least we're not the states, at least we're not like our neighbors, we're bad in our own rights, I mean, because some of these guns that are committing these crimes are coming from the to the south of us, to the border, through the border, and areas that we don't even know how they're getting here. But to the article that I just read in the paper not too long ago, these gun bans and freezes and those type of things, they are targeting, for the most part, legal gun owners. I still will be one who says, you know what, even though you're a licensed gun owner, I don't think you need to have 5, 10, 15 guns. I think you don't even necessarily have to have the gun in your home. You can always go to the range. That's my position. But I'm not here to penalize or to go against the gun owner. What I'm just trying to say is that gun is a gun, and we don't know the minds of people. So when you lose your mind, bad things can happen. So that being said, let's just keep it in a place where we know at least it's safe and it's not at So we have issues with the gun, but folks, it doesn't seem like it's going to stop, and we're in the heart of the summer right now. We're in the mix of things. I just want you to keep safe out there with your children, being that they're out of school. These things are happening in public spaces. This could have happened right after a Blue Jays game. Um, in a station where people take transit. Like, I mean, you're not safe anywhere by any means. It doesn't mean that just because I'm in a public space that I'm guaranteed to be safe. And we know that. We would be naive to say, just walking outside your house, anything can happen. but people are not, they're just shooting non-discriminately, and that's a problem because innocent bystanders are getting shot, and sometimes it may not even be innocent bystanders, it might be targeted, but in the areas they're getting shot, they're getting shot right in front of people, and that's cause for concern. So there's so much more I could have touched on tonight, but just because I haven't been on for a while, so many things happening, but I'm going to keep you up to date, keep your ears peeled, look at what's happening. And please, please, one more thing, do a brother a favor. I would please ask you just to continue to subscribe to this channel, Tough Forum, and just hit that like button, man, hit that subscribe button. That's going to help me to get to more people and to do some more things on this platform. I'm glad that I have it. I'm glad for those who are checking me out, listening. So, please check me out on all my handles, on Instagram at Tough Forum. Check me out on Facebook, like me there. And yeah, follow me on the YouTube channel here, right? Because we're doing this thing every week. And it's the Wednesday Wagwan, the midweek catch up. Look out, I'm going to be coming soon with a couple more interviews in the fall. So we discuss it a little more in depth. But for now, just want you guys to be vigilant out there, be strong, be sober minded, and keep aware of your surroundings. All right. Until we catch up again, I'm Drew signing off for the Tough Forum for the Wednesday Wagwan. All right. Until we catch up back again. Y'all have a good night and be safe. Peace.